Thank you, City.
So when we get started, Judy, I will mention this. If everybody goes to the top right, very, very right top of the top where it says view, if you hit speaker view, once Dario talks, you'll be able to see more clearly Dario in the paintings versus him in a little box. Is that correct, Judy?
That's
What
correct.
did
Yeah.
you do? You click what?
Take your arrow, go to the very right top of the big box, the black big box.
Oh, view, I see it.
And
Okay.
if you click on those dots, it says speaker view, you'll see Dario once he's and
Okay.
Judy and myself and Dario when we talk. And if you want to go back to the group, you go back and you click on gallery, in case anybody doesn't know that. And
You flip on what?
hi, Pamela.
Hi, how
Hi,
are
honey.
you?
Thanks for being here with us.
Yes.
Pamela, it's been years.
Who's talking?
Peggy used to be
Here's Peggy.
phasing, now cross.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Yes, of course. How are you, my dear? Long time no see. You
Very
look
long
fantastic.
time. Thank you. You too. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Okay. So this is being recorded, just so everybody knows that.
Okay.
And it is the top of the hour,
Hi,
so
Debbie.
I'm going to go ahead and start the official meeting right now. Oh, Claudio from Brazil. So
And
far,
if everybody
Claudio,
can
you're from
mute
the
yourself
pharmacy.
as well.
So welcome to our monthly Edgewalker Cafe. I'm so excited to see all of you, and more people are coming in. And I'm Judy Neal. I'm the founder of Edgewalkers International and the author of the book Edgewalkers. And I've known Patricia Campanile for before the book was published.
Right.
In fact, at her beach house and several different visits, did some of my writing while she worked on her writing. So we go back before then, another 10 years or more. And so it's my great pleasure. I don't need to introduce Patricia to you, but to have turned this over to Patricia to run today's Edgewalker Cafe that is going to be magical, magnificent, and so inspiring. So welcome, everyone. Please mute yourself. It looks like most of you have done that. And I'll remind you, as Patricia did, that if the best way to see Dario's art is to put your cursor on the box up in the right where it says view and change it to speaker view. And that way you'll be able to see Patricia and Dario as they speak. So over to you, Patricia.
Okay. Thank you so much, Judy. And thank you all for making the time to be with us on our Edgewalker Cafe today. And I do want to acknowledge Judy for her vision and her creative writing, and really all those, my God, Judy, all those years ago, I remember when you told me about the title of the book, and I'm like, that describes me. So here we are all these years later, and just excited about taking this time to connect with all of us, regardless of who we are and our backgrounds, because it's an important time to join together. So I want to thank you for that. And I'm so excited today because this is really the first time that Dario and I mean, we do different things together, but not quite in this way. So I'm so excited to be interviewing, really a contemporary master artist, my husband, Dario Campanile, and share with you his walk as an Edgewalker artist, and also, some of his art.
That's what it is.
Oops, I'm sorry. Patricia, you need to unmute. I accidentally muted you.
Yeah, okay, I'm fine.
I'm
And
so sorry.
Dario's not muted either. Okay.
Yeah, and everybody else, please mute, and that will help us to hear Patricia and Dario better.
So hold on, I'm going to do something. So what I want to start out by talking about, I'm going to interview Dario, and for a while, and then you're going to understand his journey as an Edgewalker, as a person, as an artist. And then he's going to show some of his paintings. Some of them are behind him right now. And then I'm going to probably go in and help him because there's some other ones he's going to show. And then we're going to do a Q&A at the end, a question and an answer. So we'll go ahead and do that. So Dario, just to say, you were born in Rome. April 21st, 1948. And in terms of your journey as an artist, and even as an Edgewalker artist, one of the things that we did was there's a questionnaire on the website, edgewalkers.org, that says, "Are you an Edgewalker?" And I had Dario read the 12 questions. And is somebody not muted? I'm sorry, I'm very there's somebody, if they could please mute
It might
themselves.
be me, Patricia, because
Yeah.
I can't find the muted button.
All right, because
I can mute you, Sadie. I'll take care of
Would you
Judy,
please?
yeah,
Thank you so
thank
much.
you. Sorry, it's just distracting for me. I'm trying to, okay, thank you. So what I was going to say is that for Dario was born in Rome, and we were looking at the 12 questions, are you an Edgewalker? And it really, he said, oh my gosh, this describes me. I said, that's one of the reasons, we got married, but also the other reason why we really had Dario come and share his vision and his story today. So Dario, you were born in Rome in 1948. So tell us a little bit about your early days as an artist and how you got started when you were a young boy, and why you feel that you're really self-taught. Maybe the story when you were about 14.
Well, before 14, as a child, a young boy, I always liked to draw and do little things with pastel and watercolor. But the turning point in my life came at age 14 because I got sick and I had a kidney infection. So I had to stay in bed for three to 4 months, and with a special diet. And so my father was so sad for me that he bought my first oil, few brushes, few tubes of oil, 2 little canvases. So I did my first painting practically in bed. And that was an amazing surprise because it felt so easy. Never experienced oil before, but it felt so easy. And I did my first still life, and it was impressive. My parents were shocked, and I was shocked too. And I remember saying to them, my God, I've done this before. It was so familiar to me. So that was the beginning of my life as an artist. At age 14, over 55 years ago. And since then, oh my God, I've never stopped. I've done so many different styles, so many different ventures and travel, and it's been a blessing. Yeah.
So Dario, when you said you feel like you've done this before and really you're self-taught, you didn't go to art school. I mean, you really don't have formal training, or you tried to. Is that true?
Well, my parents realized that I was so talented. They said to me, you got to go to the art school. And I wasn't convinced to do that, but I did it to make them happy. And I did not like the experience. I felt confined, and I felt that I could not emerge or develop in an environment of so reclusive, and it was not good for me. So I quit. And 2 weeks later, I quit. So I decided to do my own painting, my own things, and my teaching was basically what was around me in Rome, the churches and the museum, and I studied all the masters, and Caravaggio was my mentor. To learn realism. That's what my goal was. And for 50 years, almost 45 years, I paint realism. And with the devotion to be super realistic, and to the point where it really tricks your eyes that you're looking at a photograph or a painting. I really love that challenge. So I started doing that for many, many years. Then
do you have an example you could show us? Do you have an example of your realism you could show us?
Well, it's on the book. I don't have it with me, but I just give you an idea of my still life. This is a still life.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I did a lot of landscaping and a lot of figurative, basically. But then over the years, by trying to experience different style, I slowly in the 80s in Los Angeles, I started experimenting in abstract. That happened in the 80s, the beginning.
So as you've been changing your styles, your life journey has also supported your art expanding. And I because I know you so well, I know a big step for you, and this is sort of an Edgewalker step, is that you chose to claim to your parents what when you were 19 that you wanted to be a full-time artist, right? And I know, and then that was a big deal for you. That was your calling, was it not?
Yeah, it was dramatic because I realized at 19 that I want to be a full-time artist, and scared my parents tremendously. They say, "Oh my God, you're gonna be starving the rest of your life." Thank God it didn't happen. Uh, Maybe at the beginning I struggled sometime, but it was really good overall. So anyway, and that was the day that I decided to be a full-time artist. And so then from now on, I was free to dedicating myself completely. And then the next step, leaving my country and my family to go to California in the 70s.
So that was a big deal for, in you were in your 20s then, right? You left Italy, you left your family. Why did you leave? Was something calling you? What was it that drew you away? Because that was a big change, particularly back then, right?
Yeah, I felt that Rome. It was beautiful to live in Rome, but it was not really conductive to for an emerging artist, and all the wonderful experience I could have done in Los Angeles. It blew me away. Los Angeles in the '70s was amazing, and I was there visiting, and I was so impressed. And at the same time, I found a gallery in Beverly Hills. 5, 6 days later, I came in the country. They offered me a show that changed my life, and I came back for the show, and I spent 11 years in Los Angeles, and then the rest of North of California, Hawaii. So I went back to Italy visiting, obviously once or twice a year for a long time.
So do you feel that it took a lot of courage to trust that urge, that intuition, that call, that pull to take that step? Because I know it wasn't easy. And then to have the validation, like as soon as you got there, you had a show. So life started to support you, right? In
Yeah.
that courage, in that Edgewalker journey.
Correct. The moment I made the decision, the universe immediately supported me. It was amazing because I didn't plan all this. I was not planning to come to America. I just came later, the idea of going to America, once I learned what was offering me, and I went for it. And it's been a great experience. And then in the '70s in Los Angeles, I did many other experiences in art. I did filmmaking. I want to be a director. I did animation, Saturday morning cartoons, Yogi Bear and the Flintstone with Hanna-Barbera. I've done many, many different styles and things. So it was an amazing journey. It still is an amazing journey.
So you've also done a lot of, like you did a lot of record covers, right? Like Herbie Hancock and
Yes,
Lee Ritenour, like you were also asked to do that, correct?
yeah, Cheech and Chong, they became my collectors, and they own a lot of my paintings. And yeah, I did a lot of album covers and posters for movies, and then my own painting as well.
So the movies, one of the biggest things you're known for in terms of the mark you've left is which one was the movies, right? Which Paramount? You want to tell us more about that?
Oh, the Paramount logo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was in 1985. In the 75th anniversary of Paramount, they did a new look, and so they find me and they offer me the job. So I designed a new logo for Paramount, which was being used for the publication of books. For the movie and theater, they recreated my painting three-dimensionally so they could have a special effect. And but it was from my painting. So it was quite a few years went on. Then they changed it again over the years, but yeah.
So what I'm hearing is that you didn't really plan any of this. You followed your bliss. You trusted, allowed your creativity. You took the courage to step out and take a different path. And you were very versatile. You did different things with your gift, with your talent, with your creativity. But I think one of the biggest things in knowing you, but just in general and being part of myself and Edgewalker and the Edgewalker group, because you're open and available and curious, things came to you, right? The support was there, the opportunity showed up, right? It's not like you went knocking on the door of Paramount and said, can I do this, right? Things
Yes.
you attracted them, right? Because you
Oh.
were almost in your purpose. Is that right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. There was a really powerful, powerful force that was showing up for me every single time. Even in difficult time, at one point, at the beginning, I struggled financially, and I had to ask my parents to help me to pay my rent, my room in Hollywood. My parents were completely shocked. They said, "What do you mean? You're in America, the country of opportunity. Are you asking us to help you to pay your rent? Something's wrong. You should come home." And I said, no, I have to be here,
Hmm.
because I felt a voice inside me tell me that,
And you trusted it, and
and I followed it.
good for you. Yeah, that's very inspiring, and it takes courage to do that. And also, what I love about your journey, because I know a lot of the details, is the synchronicities of the people that you met. Like tell us about like you met Salvador Dali, right? You went to Cadaqués, Spain. Can you tell us about that? Because I know he's an influence on you.
Yeah, it looks like a fluke, but it wasn't. It was a very important chapter in my life. I happened to be in Spain visiting with another artist. I was not planning to see Salvador Dali, but somebody showed to Salvador my artwork and invited me to his house. So I spent time with him, and it was a very special connection, because we exchanged. I mean, he was 67, 60. I was 23, 24. He was 67 that time. But we exchanged ideas and technical aspect that I had question about it, and he helped me to come to some answer. It was amazing, and it was a gift, again, another gift from the universe, because I thought I was going to see him again, maybe in America, but it never happened. It was just that moment, that 2 days that I spent with him, that also confirmed that I was in the right direction.
And what is it that he called you? Didn't he have a name for you?
Well, he was joking with me, because when I walked in his house in Spain, and he came to me and he said, "Oh, this is the Roman master I was waiting for." He called me the Roman master. It was probably, he was probably joking there, but
Well, what I know, you and I, when we travel around a lot, and we're really Edgewalkers. I call you the gypsy artist, because you paint in different places and all of that. But I know we went there to his house in Cadaqués, Spain, on the tour. You said it's just as you remember it, right? And we're on the tour in Cadaqués, Spain, and Dario says to everyone on the tour, "Oh, I was actually here with Salvador Dali." And the group went, remember that? And we looked at his studio. That was so fun. That was great.
yeah, it was really strange, surreal experience of walking 30 years later, 40, whatever, and then to see the same thing untouched. Only the difference was he wasn't there. He was gone, but
Amazing.
his spirit was still there. I could feel it.
You could feel that. And then what about, I know you lived in California, and then you were in Hawaii many, many years, which is where you and I met, but you were also asked to meet and paint the Dalai Lama. Can you tell us about what that was about? I know that was in 2005, right?
Yeah, it was an exhibition put together by Darlene Markovich, and she wanted to have a bunch of artists together create an artwork inspired from the Dalai Lama because of his action in this world. And then the profit will be given back to the people in Dharamsala, where the Dalai Lama is from, to help all the refugees from Tibet with school and hospital. So I was invited to his house, and I took picture of him, and we spent a few hours together, and I did the painting from him. And then the old art shows was 84 artists. The old exhibition went for 5 years on the road around the world, a major museum and gallery around the world. And then eventually all the artwork sold, was being delivered, and all the proceeds went to the Dalai Lama. It was a great experience. It took me 3 months to do my painting of him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think it's on the back of your brochure. I don't know if you have it. Maybe we could pull it out later. What was it like meeting him?
Oh, that's another time where I felt, why me? I mean, there's so many artists, so many people. Why suddenly I'm facing the Dalai Lama, which represent, oh my God, the most conscious person on the planet. And it really, it really was an experience I never forget, and it changed me so much. And you know, and at one point, talking about compassion, he called the Chinese my brother. I was stunned by that expression. It's amazing, and so it was a great experience. I never forget. I'll never forget.
And your work. So I just see, to just touch on a couple of things behind you. One of the things that's amazing is I've been through so many art shows with you with the different galleries. You know, you have galleries in Hawaii and California, here in Naples, Florida, where we are at this moment, and Greenwich, Connecticut, is the versatility of your style. And I know sometimes one of the qualities of you know, an Edgewalker, and it's true not just of an Edgewalker, of a lot of people, is, you know, changing careers or switching gears. And even though you've been a consistent artist since you were a boy, you know, self-taught, clearly you've been gifted. You've moved, the versatility is, even for me, is amazing. Like, I've been in some of your shows where you have realism, surrealism, seascapes, and then abstract. I mean, and they're all from the same artist. So an example is this: when you painted realism and now you paint more contemporary abstract. So like, for example, behind you, I know you just finished this Buddha piece. It's more of your realist painting. And then on the other side is more of an abstract piece. They're really quite different. So what for you is the difference, like, between, like, the plastic one you just showed? Is it more academic for you? Like, what's the difference for you in painting the different styles, even in terms of your consciousness?
Well, it's huge difference. The realism is an academic experience. You know, you learn all the secrets and techniques that allowed you to make a painting very representative and very real. And it's a process which it takes many years to acquire. And so I was very much successful doing it, but it took me a few years to somehow control the medium. It's very difficult. But what I realized is that when I start painting abstract, something else happened to me, which didn't happen with my realism. That was, I felt that I become a vessel of something come from above that direct me to move in a specific way with specific color or way to do where it's completely coming from a channel that I don't know what it's coming from. In realism, it's all cerebral to do step by step and to do a super realistic painting. But I realized that abstract is more difficult because it being a genuine artist in abstract, it shows so quickly that it's real, it's not fake, it's not like put paint on a canvas. So it's a new language, and I started in the 80s, and then the last 10 years, I'm completely dedicated myself painting this free form. And except once in a while, I do something between the realism and the abstract, which I can give you an example. It's the Statue of Liberty, the meltdown.
Sure, if you want to show that now.
Yeah, this is a little bit more, there's a message in this one here, and this one here. Sorry. So you can see here, there's a little bit of abstract all around, but the main thing, it's the Statue of Liberty kind of melting into this confusion and toxic situation, but it's suiting into that thing. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can. Maybe push it down. So there you go. Wow. So
Yeah.
that really has a message. I mean, with everything happening in our country now, regardless of what your beliefs may be, it's a very powerful image.
Thank you.
I know you have a statement about that. Would you be willing to read it? Do you have it available?
Yes, I do. I have to read it. Where did I put my phone? No, can't find
I think it's on the counter. The counter by the orchid. By the orchid.
No, it's not here.
Okay.
Can't find my phone.
All right.
It's okay. I don't know why. What happened to? Or maybe it's underneath. Oh, I find it. Yeah. Okay, so I have to read this. This is came from my heart. And it says this: the melting of the statue is taking place, bringing us sadness. But the flame of the hope supported by the Statue of Liberty never dies. The light will always shine on our courage for transformation into a new realm of consciousness, leading to true freedom and unification. So this is the statement. So basically, it explains itself. It's about the painting. So.
So some of your work now, I've noticed, you and I have been together, it'll be 9 years in April and almost 4 years married. So I've seen you emerge, and your abstract book is called Liberation. I mean, you have a book called Liberation, because
Yes.
this has been really like the liberation of your soul is stepping into the work. Do you have the cover to show, like, stepping into the work that you're doing now is
Yeah.
more a liberation. You
Yeah.
could see that.
Yeah.
And so, but one of the things I'm noticing that you're drawn to is sort of bringing a combination of your styles together to convey a message. Can you tell us about the Buddha behind you and what you're calling that? And I know there's something profound in that as well.
Yeah, I was compelled to do something in the last week and a half, and I need something to make me feel good and serene inside my heart. And I came with this idea of the Buddha praying for us, and in the third eye, I don't know if you can see that, it's our planet.
In the middle, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I will call this painting Serenity. And it's just a moment of reflection to ourselves, and hoping that we'll come through this difficult time and go back to our spirituality, and which is so important. Consciousness is so important. Yeah.
And then it's so profound, beautiful, really profound. I mean, I don't know if people could see, there's even a heart at the bottom of the lotus,
Well, I know
to bring the heart at the very
Yeah.
bottom. Yeah, beautiful. Wow. And what about the one next to it? Now, I know that one is more of your abstract work. I mean,
well, yeah, this one, actually, I might call it the Edgewalker. Walkers, they're right there. It's a woman and a man about the edge, and against this amazing vortex of energy and power, light coming through, and they're walking right at the edge. It's about time to go into the vortex, and it is powerful. Energy is also floating down, and then there's all kinds of icon and symbolism. All this is completely from a white canvas. I didn't plan it. I didn't make a drawing of it. I just opened the channel, and it came through me. And it's just amazing. Every single time it happens, it gives me the goosebumps, because I said, this is incredible. This has been liberation for me, because I can paint something come completely from my consciousness and purity, and without losing the touch of a painter with experience, but then yet with the soul of a child. To be pure in this form of art, you have to be a child, childlike, because that's the purity children have. This you have to be able to bring it out when you're expressing yourself this way.
And I noticed that not all, but a lot of your more abstract, even expressionistic paintings have a center with white, a light in the middle. Not all of them, but a lot of them, they just come through that way. Do you have a sense of what that might mean for you?
Well, for me, is the light is everything, and I believe that when we pass, that we're going to go towards the light. Maybe that's unconsciously, that's a symbolism for me. But to me, when I see the light, like the expression, the light in the tunnel, that's the same thing. It's the light in the distance coming through. The whole idea is going through the light and to affirm yourself and feel good about it, whatever it is. So it's an energy that I like to represent this way, with the against the light, which usually is in the middle of the painting. Yeah.
So a quick sidebar, not really, but nobody really knows this, but Dario was asked to submit a piece of work to, there's something called the Spiritual Art Awards. and I don't know, 50, 60 artists from every country, like all over the world, submit different types of mediums of art for this award. And it's becoming more and more prestigious. And we just found out on Sunday that he won, first place was the winner of the Abstract Expressionist Award for the Spiritual Art Awards for the painting here. It's called Gateway. It's his book. I don't know if you could see it, but that they were, there are a series of judges globally, and he won the award for that. So I just want to mention that. He didn't want to mention it, but I wanted to mention it because I thought it was a big thing that he won that. So somebody asked him, yay, thank you.
Dario, can you put that up again? Patricia, I'm have you on speaker view. So when Dario puts it up, but he doesn't talk, we can't see it.
Oh,
So
okay. It's called Gateway. See, can you see it? Yeah, Gateway.
Dario needs to say something. Say something, Dario, and then we'll see it.
This is the gateway that takes us out, and this is powerful, wonderful, positive energy all in the middle and all around. There's a little bit of turmoil, a little bit intensity, and you see figures and characters popping out once in a while. And then again, it's a very peaceful but yet dramatic piece. It has a lot of movement in the paint, and it feels floating and flowing actually, of energy. And so it's hard to talk about it, but this is, everyone respond differently, obviously. But I just, my position is just to go ahead and do it, and then let the people decide what it is. I'm a simple tool. That's all I am.
Thank you, Dario. We were very excited about that. So one thing I want to speak to, especially as this relates to you and I, when we met in Maui in 2012, and Dario had a beautiful home there, and he sold his house in 2016, and we've been, really edge walking and moving around, not just the United States, but the globe, whether it's by plane or boat or car, trips and that type of thing. And I remember when I met you, you said, I've got to have my studio, I've got to have my house. And, you've really, I just want to say, you've taken such a leap of faith and trusting the universe in terms of being even more of an artist that paints now in so many different locations and different studios. That's been an edge for you, hasn't it been?
Oh, yes, absolutely. My God, it's been an amazing experience. And the fascinating thing is it's not stopping. We're still I'm still evolving as an artist. Believe it or not, I've been painting for 55 years, and I still feel I'm at the beginning of something. It's the strangest thing. But again, I'm open. I'm ready, to keep going and see what happens.
Mm-hmm. For the adventure.
The adventure, yeah.
The adventure, yeah. It's takes a lot of trust in the universe, something greater.
But I have to say something. It's very important. You are a responsible part of this experience, because if it wasn't for you, you came to my life, inspired us to move and travel around the world. By myself, I wouldn't have done that. Who knows? I would stay in Maui for the rest of my life. And then because of you've been my inspiration to check different part of the planet for the last 5 years, 6 years. We've done that, and it's been incredible. You talk about liberation. Wow! I sold my house, I sold my car, and packed my art supply, and here we go in the horizon.
Yeah, it's great. It's wonderful. So, are there any other paintings maybe you can I know you're getting any other paintings that you can maybe show us?
I'll show you something more representational.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Like Dario does a lot of, he used to do a lot of landscape and seascapes.
Well, this is called ripples.
Dario, can you pull back? Yeah. Keep going back so we could see it. There you go.
Chair in between me and the painting. Okay. I got it.
Wow.
You see the ocean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is it's a very peaceful kind of sunset, and with a lot of layers of very gentle shades, and yeah, that's once in a while, I feel like going into that thing, but still, my abstract is the main. It's the main thing. There's another one. This is called Horizon, because this is a little bit more abstract, and it has a little bit of feeling of the landscapes. Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Perfect.
Maybe
Wow.
like this. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes. Then have different concept. This is reflections. Now here, it's a little different approach. And you see this people there, characters into the light again. And then everything is vertical, as you can see. A lot of dripping oil, paint.
Mhm.
High road. Well, you can.
So Dario, tell us about what I know is a lot of your expressionist abstract paintings, icons and horses and different people, things come through. Do you put them there? Can you maybe show us another moment so we, or maybe a smaller one so we can understand what that is for you because I know that's a big part of some of your contemporary work.
Yeah, this is a small piece. Okay, again, I see horses, men, horses, and
Angels.
angels, and yeah, this is the whole aspect of humanity is coming through this canvas. All unplanned. It's all. I just started with the white canvas, and I started putting paint, but I have to say something that I could never paint anything like this even 10 or 15 years ago. I wasn't ready for it. I mean, this is the culmination of so much experience of handling color and paint that it come natural for me to mix on the palette and find the right color combined with the other colors. You know how easy it is to make a muddy when you use so many colors, but I keep the crispy and clean. But that's an experience that I have in oil over 50 years. It paid off, obviously. That's what I'm saying. This is even 15, 20 years ago, I wasn't ready for this. I will never be able to paint anything like this. Now I'm more mature to do, and who knows where we go from here. Remember, one expression Picasso that I learned from him is that once you master, you have to leave it. Once you master a style, you master a project, you need to move on. You need to leave. This is an Edgewalker to me concept, isn't it? You don't sit on it with your glory, but you just move on to the next step. So it was very inspirational because I was like that all the time. But when I read that interview from Picasso years later, when he said that, it really spoke to me.
So that was inspiring for you. And I'm noticing in the chat, Dario, that a lot of people were really, singing your praises and acknowledging the colors, and they feel like this is better than being in a museum. And a few people asked about acrylic or oil. You're 95% oil. I mean, you're an oil painter, right? You're medium?
Yes, oil, because oil is more fluid and it won't dry right away, so it allows me to do different effect, which in acrylics it's more difficult. And acrylics it's more ideal for different kind of abstract. But oil it really feels home for me because this is what I've been doing for 50 years, so it feels good.
Oh, wonderful. So is there anything else you want to share? Because I want to open it up to some questions and answers for maybe the last 15 minutes, or any other painting or anything else that you want to speak to.
I show you the basic. I mean, pretty much. Yeah. I'm ready for answer some questions if you want.
Okay. So Thank you, Dario. Go ahead, Judy.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, we should have made this 2 hours. And one of the comments was, it feels like walking through a museum, only better to hear Dario talk about the art. I mean, we'll be saving the chat. And if anybody wants to save the chat yourselves, you can go to the lower part of the chat. There's a little box with 3 dots in it. And at the end of today's call, before we get off, you can click on that and it will save the whole chat. But I'll be saving that and it'll be available. But Peggy O'Neill said quite a while ago that she'd like to ask a question. And then you mentioned part of Susie Clark's question, but there's more of that maybe Susie would like to ask again. But let's turn it over to Peggy O'Neill first.
Okay.
Thank you, Judy, and thank you, Patricia, and thank you so
Thank you.
much, Dario, too. This is so inspiring, just your journey. And anyway, so rather than take up time with
Thank
kudos,
you.
I'm like I work with people. Well, I'll start with myself. So one of the things I'm really inspired by is you said being the channel. So do you have any guidance for how to be a channel? Did that just happen for you? Or do you have any, like if I want to be more of a channel myself, which I do, I want to be more where I'm receiving, any guidance for that?
Well, we'll have that. We'll have a channel somehow. The only difference is you got to pay attention and be very, very conscious and be able to absorb it and not reject it, say, no, that's impossible, I can't do that, or this or that. Just to open up your heart and your spirit, the inner voice, that's what it is for me. It's a form of an inner voice that tells me, yes, you can do this. This is how you do it. When you open your channel, that's what happened. You have an instant gratification, an instant attention. You're not alone, and you have to just have no chance, whatever, just to do it. I mean, if you're in denial, then you won't do it. Then you're not going to have more voices and more channel open. It's a practice to do. It's an exercise to listen to your inner voice and go for it.
Thank you. Very supportive. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
No, Judy, you said someone else. I didn't hear the name.
Yes, Susie Clark?
Susan Clark?
Susie.
Susie Clark, sorry.
Hi. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Susie.
Yes, yes.
Hello, hi. I'm calling from London, so that's why it's dark outside. So I have so enjoyed listening and learning from you today, Dario. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'm 68. I started painting during lockdown in March this year, and I'm taught by a Dutch artist living in Spain. I'm working in acrylics. I'll probably be ready to show my work in about 5 years, not before. but it as you say, it comes out of you, and we are learning to do an abstract background and then paint onto it. We work in acrylics. And
Yes.
one of the interesting things my questions is, how long did it take you to make the painting that I think you should call Edgewalkers? That's my question. And my observation is that often when I've made the abstract, although I've never been a great lover of that, I love your work, but generally speaking, abstracts haven't spoken to me in the same way. Do you think it's something that speaks to us as we get older, abstracts?
Yeah, well, there's a maturity and acceptance, and knowledge that allowed you to appreciate more different style, including abstract. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Your question was about how much time do I take to do one of these?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to be telling you, but I'm probably shocking you. But again, don't feel intimidated by that. But this is 4 hours work.
No. No. Oh dear.
So
I've got a long way to go.
the reason why is because I have to go fast, because it's a moment, and I can't sit around waiting for the next brush strokes. It's a moment where I apply and I move and I won't stop till it's done. So this is why I plan my day, that I wouldn't have to stop for lunch or whatever. Once I stop, because the oil, it's all mixed, ready to go. If I wait too long, it will dry up on me and it won't be able to work it out. So the faster I go, the more pure the expression is. The longer I take, my mind comes in between, and I get self-conscious and how critical of myself. But when I go fast, I don't think about it. I just go by instinct, by listening to the voice, and it feels really encouraging that every move that I do, it feels right. But this has come from experience of doing this for so long, you know. So it's at the beginning I struggled, you know, obviously, like everybody else.
Yeah. Thank you. It's obviously you're channeling inspiration onto your canvas. It's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Claudio made a comment about chakras. And Claudio, could you say more what you see, and do you have a question for Dario about that?
Hi. Yes, thank you, Dario, for your exposition. Thank you, Judy.
Thank you,
and
Claudio.
Patricia. Thank you.
Thank you.
In the true artwork, I can see the colors mixed, like the colors of the chakras, the 7 colors, from the red to violet. In the one special, and the sea and the sunrise or sunset.
Yes.
And the other and like an space, like a nebulous, like a for me it's very, very impressive, because I'm a therapist. I use it's color therapy. All therapy. Then your art is, for me, is like a health art. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you know that when I paint and I use colors, I don't think about the 7 color chakra. I don't think all that. I know a little bit about it, but it's just it's completely instinctual and on the moment. Yeah, but I appreciate that. I love that. I love to be able, through my art, that able to help people in, you know, and evolve or whatever, you know, spiritually and whatever. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing it.
So Dario, I want to make a comment. I'm looking at some of the comments in the chat. One of the things that I will comment on is sometimes Dario, like I'll go out for the day and he'll start the day with a blank canvas. And then I come home and there's this painting there, and he looks at me and says, I have no idea how I did this. A lot of times you say that. I don't, it's like when you say you go into a zone.
Yeah.
It's like a zone.
Yeah, exactly. It surprises me. And then again, it never failed. Then again, when I start new painting, I have the fear, the blockage, every artist have fear of facing a white canvas. I still have that. It's, you know, at the beginning. But then once I start, it's unfolding slowly, and then I get the voice inside me tells me, okay, you're doing good. Now go this way, and I just proceed to manifest. And then at the end, it surprised me that I did this in such a short time. It's fascinating. It's a magic almost.
Mm-hmm. So what about music? Now, do you always listen to music? Can you tell us, do people connect with music through your art, but you always listen to music when you paint, like instrumental? Why is that helpful for you?
Because the music that I choose, which is most contemporary instrumental, and has a wonderful vibes, and it really, your body, your cellular inside, your cells respond to that, and it helps me to be flowing and be more relaxed with the music, and it's an addition to for my work. It's part of my work. I don't paint without music. Never. I will have music playing all day long when I paint. You know, it's comforting, and it helps me to create.
How do you know when a painting is finished?
Yeah, that's the most difficult moment. And sometimes you think it's finished, it's not. But sometimes you do the opposite. You overworked, and then you think, oh God, I should have stopped earlier. So it's the toughest decision. But 80% or 70%, I feel it's done. But maybe there is a 30% question mark. What if I should have done this or should do that? But most of the 70%, I feel it when it's moment is to let go, not overdoing it. And, you know, so but it's a challenge every single time.
What about, and I know once you sign it, that's pretty much when you're complete. I know that. Sign it. What about titles?
Well, titles, it's again, in addition to your creativity. I mean, I learned to come with titles, and you're helping me too, finding titles. You're very good at that. Sometimes I take your titles. Titles are tricky because it could expand your work or it could limit your work. It depends. So the title have to be right. And it's remember, everyone responds differently. And the title, when you describe it in a title, a painting, have the tendency to narrow in a small area. Only explanation is from that title. But the painting could have many, many titles and many, many way expression. You know, art, let's not forget, it's a window. It's a window where everybody can see different things from that window. And, you know, so we all different people and feel differently. So titles can help you. It sometimes can go against you sometimes, but usually I title my painting. I don't like untitled. I like to title my painting and then leave the audience decide if it's correct or if speak to them, the title. It might not, you know, but my statement, it's 90% my statement is the painting. Titles comes afterwards. I'm not a writer, I'm not a poet, but I feel a title. But the main thing is the expression of my work, and the title comes after.
So I know the answer to this, but do you paint every day or do you take breaks? I mean, people might be curious about that.
Well, painting abstract is very involving and it's very intense. So it takes me no time to do a painting, but for 2-3 days, I'm wiped out. I got to recharge my battery. So I learned to pace myself, not overdoing it, because I need to recollect energy, refill again the container. And then once it's back up again, I'm ready. My work becomes stronger that way. And so I can take a break in between. In a realism, I used to paint every day. You sit down in my chair and it's like an office work, you know, and I could do 8 hours a day, every day, 6 days a week. But now, older I am, it takes me longer to recoup. So I need to be ready to paint like this. It doesn't happen every day.
Pamela Durali has a question about intention and flow. Pamela, you want to ask that question?
Yes. Hi, Dario.
Hi.
It's so good to see you, and we certainly enjoy your work. I have a question about your intention and how you prepare yourself before you start to paint, and how you get in that flow so that you're just like happening through you. Yes.
Well, it's like a ritual that I start by squeezing the paint on my table, in my palette, and then the process of preparing the painting, it takes me a while before I apply them on the canvas. Maybe it could take an hour more or less. So in that time, when I'm mixing my paint, I'm present and I'm praying and I talk to myself, you'll be okay, don't be fearful, you know, because it's intimidating, again, facing a white canvas, really. And then you have 18 colors waiting for you to be applied. And it's really challenging. It's really challenging because you don't have a clue what is going to happen. So it's exciting, but it's very scary as well. So for help me with the flow, it's just to be present and be grateful. You know, this is a gift was given to me. I don't know from where, what I need to do and manifest and do it, what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm here in this world for. That's all my life. That's all I've done all my life. So I need to believe in that it's going to be okay every single time.
Kathy Garland wants to know what some of the music is that you listen to.
Oh, I use New Age and jazz and some classical music, soothing. Like many artists, I put them on Pandora. I have a list of 30, 40 artists that I play, but I mix it up, so it's good, But it's mostly instrumental. I don't like playing with voices because it distracts me about listening to the meaning of the words and the singing. So I'd rather have instrumental. It speaks to me better.
Wonderful. Wow. Well, I know it's about 5 of. I mean, if there are any more burning questions, Judy, anything? I know we want to make some announcements and
Debbie just posted something, and I'd love her to say those words to Dario.
Debbie.
Dario, amazing to see you again. Thank you, and Patricia, and thank you, Judy. Dario, I have to tell you, you've just changed my life from this moment forward. And the reason is, and I know we know each other. We for quite a while now, and I've spent time in your home. As you know, I mean, living in your home was amazing. But today, 2 points that you brought up. One is that you're constant changing, and I'm looking to the side because I'm looking at you because you're over on the right side of my screen. Okay, so that's the only way I can see you. But you said you constantly change through your life, and when you've mastered something, then it's time to move on to the next thing, and then when you master that, you move on to the next thing. This is something that I've been doing all my life, and I always thought it was wrong. I thought, oh my God, I can't stick with one thing. Once I get good at something, I say, never mind, I'm on to something else. And I always felt that was a bad thing. You've just made me realize it's a good thing. And now it's like, oh my God, embrace the fact that that's what I'm doing. And it's okay to be that way. I mean, oh my God, that I can't tell you how much that is affecting me. And the other thing you talked about is channeling whatever's coming to you. And I do that and don't know I'm doing that, or don't realize that that's what's happening, or maybe I'm not taking advantage of that. The channeling comes to me and I always double check it, always don't trust it. I'm looking for, confirmation that it's the right thing to do. And I think that trust your instinct, trust your gut, embrace the channeling will make me grow even further. And I love you for that, Dario. God, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Nice to see you.
Well said, Debbie. And, I think that I was saying to Dario when he was reading the list before, I said, this is why we're married, because it's like the perfect thing. And we align with the Edgewalker, values. But I think, Dario, if I can just say, and I'm going to say this to all of us, that, when looking at a blank canvas and the unknown, right, and the uncertainty and the fear and the hesitation, it's kind of a metaphor for life, especially now, and we all have our uncertainties and concerns and gifts, but, I always say that the true growth, even for Dario, but for all of us, is that life is a blank canvas a lot of the times. And where can we tap into our creativity and our gifts and our hearts, and where we're being guided, and trust spirit, even when our mind tells us that we're crazy, and it's really evolutionary, Dario, what you're speaking about. And I think those are the times that we're in. So not only your art, but the Edgewalker community, or any of us, whether we're an Edgewalker community member or not, this is something that I think is so important to trust and bring into the world and evolve into. So I want to thank you for being my partner in life, but just for the amazing artists, master artists, and the man that you are, and to just, I feel so blessed and honored to witness your evolution and your growth on the inner and outer level as your creative genius. So
Oh, thank you, Susan.
yeah. And thank you all. I see all the people that are here from all over the world that we know and don't know. We're so grateful that you're joining us. And this will be recorded. So if anyone would like a recording, let myself or Judy know and we'll send it to you. And then again, you could save the chat in the bottom right. And in the chat also, I put Dario's websites. If anybody wants to see more, I put the edgewalkers.org website. And I also put the 3 different galleries that represent Dario, their website. So all that information, as well as the Edgewalker information, is in the chat as well.
And I just reposted all that.
Thank you, Judy.
And just one modification, the file will be too big to send, but we'll either post a link to it on the Edgewalker website. We'll put it in the newsletter, but we'll give you a link so that you can see it and download it.
Yeah, let me know, Judy, and I could forward it out as well.
I will
Okay.
definitely. Well, thank you so much, Patricia and Dario. I want to make just 2 announcements and then ask Dario if Dario would like to make a closing comment. Then the first announcement is our next cafe, and you're all invited, will be February 11th. And Susan Furness, who's on this call, will be the host of that. And we don't have a topic yet. So if you know Susan, you might want to give her some inspiration about something you'd like to hear her present on. And if you are not a part of the Edgewalker community and would like to be, all that means is that you get the free newsletter and you get updated on things that we're doing. You get access to the blogs and just go to the Edgewalker website, which has been posted, and you can sign up for the newsletter. There's a link down at the bottom of the page. So I want to turn it over to Dario. This has been magnificent. You must read the comments later because it will thrill you and touch your heart deeply to see how much you have touched others, Dario. So I'd like to let you close us out.
Well, I want to thank you, all of you, for supporting me and give me validation and confirmation, which I needed. I'm still a little child in front of the canvas. And I'm open anytime for more of these events if you need to. And thank you again. It's been a great experience, and enjoy your life. And remember, listen to your voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right.
Thank you, everyone. Lots of love. Be safe out there. Take care. Blessings.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Bye.